So, BookTube, we have reached the time of the year where, unless I'm going to start filming these at the crack of dawn, it's just going to be a little bit darker because it's dark outside when I film these because it's only 6 o'clock here, but already we're, with the time change and everything, completely pitch black outside. And I do like to film these when there's natural light, but we're stuck with what we got. But anyway, we are continuing on with the Journal of Emily Shore, page 275 of the 1891 edition, beginning with the entry for September the 17th, 1838, which was a Monday. And we have an editor's note in brackets noting that this is a visit to the Britannia frigate at Portsmouth. And so Emily writes, "What an astonishing triumph of art is this immense fabric, this floating city. I do not think the grandest palace, the noblest cathedral, ranks so high amongst the most wonderful works of men as a first-rate line of battleship, and to me the spectacle had all the overpowering charm of novelty. But I am not going to give any account of the Britannia, as mine must be necessarily imperfect, and will be of no help to my memory, and can in no wise, except in its imperfection, differ from ready-made printed histories. It is hard to say what I most admired or what most astonished me. Perhaps it was the enormous bulk of the spare masts and yards which lay on the deck. But, indeed, all was astonishing. The perfect order that reigned everywhere, the ingenious contrivances for accommodating everybody and everything, even to a cow, sheep, and poultry. The storeroom and armory, where tools, weapons, etc., are arranged in symmetrical figures on the walls. The huge chain cables, the vastness of the masts and bowsprit, penetrating the lower decks, the immense capstan, the supply of fresh water in the hold, but really, I do not know where to stop in enumerating all that struck me. The number of decks, too, struck me. I thought that we should never have got to the bottom. The highest part of the ship is the poop, then the quarter-deck and forecastle, where there are no guns. Below are the 3-gun decks, to wit, the main deck, middle deck, and lower deck. Below this last is the cockpit, where the little middies sleep in the dark. Below that, the hold, so that there are 7 stages from the highest to the lowest part of the ship's hull. And that's kind of funny because she just said she wasn't going to describe the ship. Now here she is describing the ship. By the by, nothing gave me so impressive an idea of the gigantic size of the ship as looking down over the stern and seeing the enormous depth below. I was surprised that so much space could be spared for the staterooms, which are really very comfortable, and the stern walks pleased me much." And then we have another editor's note. On September 20, they left ugly, amusing Southsea for Brighton on a visit to a friend, Miss Benson. September 25th, Tuesday. Now I have seen the Custs. Mamma called there early, and I joined her at once in a fly which had taken Miss Thompson to a bath. They are at 153 Marine Parade. The first thing I saw was Reginald's head at the window. The next instant the door opened, and Lady Anna Maria and Lucy greeted me with the most affectionate cordiality, kissed and welcomed me with hearty kindness. It was a true delight to me to see them once more, after more than 2 years of separation. I know hardly any friends I should have had more pleasure in meeting thus, but alas, one is wanting since I saw them last, and in poor Lady Anna Maria's pallid face and altered manner, I could too easily read the effects of that bitter loss. All the briskness, the liveliness, the burlesquerie of which some complained are quite gone. She has softened beautifully, but all her natural frankness and thoroughly sincere cordiality remain. There is an equal improvement in Lucy, a beautiful, graceful, almost striking-looking girl, who formerly had a slight hauteur or air of superiority which somewhat spoilt the amiableness of her appearance. Now she is not only beautiful, but lovely, gentle, mild, engaging, both in countenance, voice, and manner. Nothing can exceed this kindness to me, both of Lady Anna Maria and Lucy. and afterwards of Mr. Cust when he entered. And we have here a asterisk, a note. Lucy died some 3 or 4 years after the writer of these lines, and on her deathbed, after speaking of her sister, to whom she should soon be reunited, she said, "And I shall see Emily again." They promise to call on us as soon as they can and wish us to spend a morning with them. Unluckily, we are almost at opposite ends of the town. To Lucy, I have feelings of warmer friendship than I ever had before. Her exquisitely fair complexion, light hair, blue eyes, fine features, noble figure, and air of dignity and rank would unite to form no bad representative of Rowena. She is a clever as well as amiable girl. I believe a truly good one, too. October 5th, Friday. Mr. Wishaw, still wishing to take me a drive yesterday, sent his compliments and wished to know at what hour he should call for Miss Shore the next day. This kind offer we accepted, named 2:30, and dined today at 1. At the appointed time he and his chariot appeared, and we had a drive of nearly 2 hours, which I found very pleasant, for he is a very agreeable man. He is very infirm with age, is nearly blind, has a cork leg, and now and then a momentary wandering or absence seems to indicate something like the incipient decay of mental vigor. Nevertheless, he retains his conversational powers and his remarkable memory. His information is extensive and his manners pleasing and benevolent. He is rather deaf, and my weak lungs rendered the effort of making myself always intelligible rather fatiguing. However, I exerted myself, and all got out of him that I could. He told me, amongst other things, an interesting circumstance respecting Mr. Marset's conversations on chemistry, which, being read by the bookbinder to whom it was sent, struck him so much that it turned his attention to that science. He studied it deeply, and is now the eminent Mr. Faraday. And maybe we'll pause here for today. I know we're only 7 minutes in, but that is the end of her trip for that period of time, because next we have an editor's note noting that she is going to be returning to Bartley Lodge, and will begin next time on October the 11th, which was a Thursday. Page 277, the year 1883. So we'll leave it at that for today.